Hi, it's Rob. I have a fairly serious subject to talk about a little bit. My friends and family may know that I cut my finger with a utility knife last week and it looked like I needed stitches, so I went to an urgent care and it turns out the bleeding almost had stopped by the time I got there, and it wasn't a big deal. Tell you what a big deal was, though, is they took my blood pressure. It was 180 over 110. And they said, don't panic yet. You cut your finger, you're upset. Let's wait an hour and take it again. And they took it again in an hour and it was still 160 over 100. And it was time for the doctor to say, you've got a hypertension problem. Now, I've worked in a clinic environment where there were blood pressure cuffs available, and over the past few years, I've occasionally tested it, and I never saw a reading that really alarmed me. And as I think about it, I don't think in my last year I tested my blood pressure at all. I do know that it was a stressful job, and I thought I was in the clear, certainly when I retired, and I feel more relaxed and I don't feel the stress. But that's still a pretty serious thing happening in my body. When I was a kid, they used to refer to, on public service announcements, they used to refer to high blood pressure as the silent killer. And the reason that it's referred to that way is that there are no symptoms. You don't know it when you have high blood pressure, but your organs know it. Your blood vessels, your lungs, your kidneys, your liver. It's not a good thing for every part of your body. And if you Google it, you can see about all the lethal things that chronic high blood pressure leads to. And the bottom line is it leads to a shorter life and eventually a death that can be quite unpleasant and quite prolonged. It leads to congestive heart failure, for example, and that's something that you can live with the severe symptoms of that in a very uncomfortable way for many years and have a very poor quality of life. Other things that can happen is that you can die suddenly of a heart attack. And anyway, I wanted to talk about this and encourage people to not do what I did. Don't avoid going to the doctor. And I hadn't been to a doctor in probably 2 years. And the only reason I went this time is I cut my damn finger. And I just had transitioned from really good insurance with the company or the agency that I worked for when I retired. And the next day I went on this sort of minimalistic Obamacare bronze program where there's like an 8,000 max out of pay, but also like an 7,000 or 8,000 deductible. This kind of care for my hypertension isn't covered. I have a big deductible. So I want to speak to that and to speak to people that maybe don't have any insurance. And I want to talk about the steps that I took to get the care and how little it really costs to get life-saving care for myself. The first thing you would need to do is to get a reliable blood pressure to measure yourself. They have those things for your wrist. They don't recommend those. Doctors recommend you get the ones that go around your arm. It looks like this. You put it on your arm. There's a bunch of different brands, but they all pretty much look the same. You put it on your arm. It's a thing like this. You press the button. It takes your blood pressure. So you got to know what you're up against. And normal blood pressure, I think, is still 120 over 80. And it's pretty easy to understand what that means. It's the pressure in your blood vessels, and the high number, they call it the systolic number, the higher number, the 120, is when your blood pumps out that pressure to get blood to all parts of your body from your heart. And when your heart relaxes, that's the lower number. That's the residual pressure. So both those numbers are important, and you want to get as close to 120 over 80 as you can. And 180 over 110 is a pretty far cry from that. So you need something like this, and it's about $50 or $60 for one of these things. It's not expensive. All the grocery stores, Walmart sells them $50. So there's my first expense. My next expense was I need to get a doctor to prescribe me some medication. There's Teladoc, If you go online doctors, there's lots of them out there. And I found one. I'm not going to tell you it's not Teladoc. It's another one I'd never heard of. I'm not going to reveal it here because I've only had one appointment and I don't want to endorse something I don't have extensive experience with. However, the morning I signed up, I was on the phone with a doctor with the option to have a video session within an hour of signing up for it. And I think it cost me I looked at the bill, it was $30 for a session, or $30 or $35 for a session. And he prescribed lisinopril, which is a very common medication to start with for hypertension, and lisinopril and other standard medications for high blood pressure are on what they call the Walmart $4 list, which means that I went and filled my medication, and for 30 days worth of medication, it cost me $4. So let's look at this. I bought this for about $50, $35 for the appointment. So we're up to $85, and then 4 more. I'm up to $89. And guys, that's all I've spent. $85 without insurance. I didn't put in a claim with my insurance company because I've got that big deductible. It doesn't matter. So you can get this care privately and easily if you don't have insurance. If you do have insurance, God, go to your doctor's office, have a great relationship with your doctor. But if there's any hesitancy because you can't afford it, then I'm here to tell you that you can afford to get the care. And high blood pressure is serious business, especially at my age. I'm 61, I'm about to turn 62, and I'm starting on this very exciting part of my life. And I want to have fun, and I want to do it for a long time. I don't want my health to take me down. So anyway, I wanted to share that, and hopefully this will help somebody else out there. I hope everybody's doing great. Don't worry about me. I'm doing fine. I'm getting the treatment I need. I'm testing my blood pressure every day. I'm on it. Okay? Everybody take care. Bye.